you're wanted on set. Joining us again this year in his only super gay panel for Dragon Con is Christopher Judge. And our favorite star from another series that came to us, John Delancey. Right. Now, I'm not real sure about this. Hold on one second.
Yeah, we should put John in the center. He's going to get the most questions, I think. So let's just get it started, right? How you guys? Is everyone having a good time at Dragon Con?
Isn't it weird to be here on a Friday and none of the audience is hungover yet? There's no furry costumes.
That's great. Now I'm sure a lot of you are dying to ask both John and I a lot of questions.
Yes,
so let's get right to it.
I was going to say, theoretically, I'm here to keep the boys in line, but I don't think that happens. I was going to start off, some of you have been here before, Martin, you haven't, but we love you.
You've never been to Dragon Con?
I've never been to Dragon. It's my first Dragon Con.
Oh boy, are you in for it.
And I'm in a lot of trouble.
So if dudes wearing like Vulcan outfits invite you to their room and want you to drink the blood punch, don't do it.
Yeah. Thanks. I could have used all of that last night, guys. Thanks.
I'm just going to ask you guys a couple of questions that were emailed in, and then I'm going to turn it over, and we've got a couple of microphones set up for our fans in the audience to ask you some questions of their own. And I don't know if they'll involve costumes this year or not, Chris. So, yeah, we're hoping not. Anyway, now, one of the questions that was asked was, what got you into acting in the first place? And this is for any of you that would care to answer. Okay, what got you into acting in the first place, and at what point? So,
What was what? What
got you into acting, and essentially at what age?
Clearly it wasn't that you were a good student.
No. That's why I became an actor. What got me into acting was a film my dad was the art director on called Goonies. And yeah, and Sean Astin is here too, which is pretty cool. And he had told me my mom was a graphic artist in the music and theater industry, and my dad was a set designer, art director, and eventually production designer in the film industry. So I was familiar with with that side of the business. And when I saw that movie, I realized then that I had, if I became an actor, I would have the opportunity to kind of live out these fantasies and things like that, and just have a blast and get to go on wild adventures. And it was very exciting for me when I had that epiphany. So I started acting within a year after seeing that movie, and started acting professionally about 8 months after I started acting in theater class. And the first movie I did was a movie called Tucker, with Francis Coppola directed, playing Noble Tucker. And from there it went on,
Why did I chose to become an actor? Because of my writing and producing is not good at all. I tried very briefly to be in Stargate Atlantis. It didn't turn out. I thought I could play Beckett's younger, handsomer brother, and I'm gonna pass on this one.
I actually wasn't a very good student. I had flunked out of 3 schools. I didn't know how to read. The last school I went to was sort of a school for wayward kids, and they had a lot of wayward teachers there. And it was a wonderful school, a private school outside of Philadelphia. We were always threatened with that if we didn't make it there, our next step was military school. And one day, Mr. Biddle, who was, when I was about 14 years old, Mr. Biddle came into class, 14 or 15, and he threw at me a book, and it was Henry V, and he said, in 2 months, for the spring, for the end of the year thing, we're going to be doing Henry V, and you're going to play Hal. And I learned the lines, with great difficulty, and I played Hal, and it was the first time I was good at anything in school. And so I began to just pursue it. So I've sort of, that's how I became an actor.
I too actually was moved by a film. It was Sounder. I don't know if you guys remember Sounder, probably. And I remember thinking about the feelings that I was experiencing, and I thought, what a great way to make a living, trying to convey these different feelings and emotions, and be someone else, and so yeah, that's kind of what led me to it. And I always knew I wanted to be an actor, but just to be on the safe side, when I went to college, just to have something to fall back on, I went in as pre-med, and I wanted to be a brain surgeon in case acting didn't work out. So you could imagine me.
But you've played one on TV.
Yes.
It's a two-part answer, really. When I was 7 years old, I had a neighbor who was a talent agent, and I played basketball with her son, and she said, "Hey, why don't you audition for a commercial?" So I walked in and ate a bowl of Wheaties, and they liked the way I ate Wheaties. A lot of gusto and passion. So in 1970, I did a Wheaties commercial with Bill Cosby. And so from that point on, I did not want to be an actor. I had an aversion to Wheaties after 18 bowls of Wheaties.
I thought you were going to say an aversion to black guys.
Breakfast of Champions. So I did theater and odd bits and pieces until I was graduated from college, and I was in college, and I had my application into the Air Force to go fly jets, and the RSC came through the college that I was studying at. That's the Royal Shakespeare Company, and I had been talked into taking a class in acting. I'd never taken a class in acting, but they didn't have enough guys to do Shakespeare. So I ended up doing scene work with members of the Royal Shakespeare Company, and one night while I had them at a party filled with football players, I asked them, I said, "Think I can make a living doing that?" And they said, "Yeah." So I thought, okay. And that's probably the first time I ever thought, oh yeah, I'll make a living as an actor. Bill Cosby notwithstanding.
Very cool. Okay, one other question.
Joe Pudding.
Go ahead. With no restrictions as to living or deceased, who is one other actor that you would love to work with, if given the chance?
Well, since I've worked with Chris Judge, I mean, it's...
Basil Rathbone.
Who?
I would like to work with me. I've never had the pleasure of seeing myself perform for a number of reasons, obviously. So I think that would be very thrilling.
There's just so many places to go with
So
that.
many. So many.
Yeah, like he's never worked with himself before.
So we're actually talking about beards over here. I have a feeling I'm being made fun of, but I guess why I'm here on this panel.
I think probably Sidney Poitier.
Spencer Tracy.
Errol Flynn. Like to do some swashbuckling with that guy?
You know, he's often... Yeah.
Swashbuckling with himself?
Did you hear what you just said? Errol Flynn, I'd like to do some swashbuckling with that guy. That's what you just said.
I did. It came out of my mouth. So to speak.
And on that note, we have 2 lines of people waiting to ask you other questions.
Lauren and Errol Flynn crossing swords. I don't know what that means.
That's another panel for late tonight.
Never a dull moment around Christopher Judge, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right up there with the furry thing. That's you and Errol Flynn swashbuckling.
I really look forward to being mailed all that fanfic now. That's going to be fascinating.
For your immediate attention, sir.
Alright, I can talk again. I think our first question, is right over here.
This is for Ben Browder. What was it like going with working in Claudia and Farscape as Aaron and then to Vala on Stargate?
So the question was, what was it like working with Claudia on Farscape and Stargate?
Like the difference.
The difference. The difference was all Claudia. I mean, she did such a magnificent job creating such a different character, and the writers supported everything insane that Claude wanted to bring to Vala, as we did as well. It was kind of like one of those wind-up toys where you just let it go. So it was, you just look at the difference, It was easy, it was fun. And Claude's good value, she's good to have on set, so it was great.
Cool.
Next question.
Over here on the left. Or our left.
Okay, my question's for Christopher Judge. Okay, I was watching season 6, and I got to episode 19, which is the one you wrote.
Which is what?
The episode you wrote. I was wondering, where did you get the idea for that episode?
Well, I had wanted to work with Shanks again, so I knew I would have Shanks in the episode. So, and they wanted to have a Shanks-heavy episode anyway, so I kind of, it came kind of just like out of just boyhood stuff, wanting to ride in fire trucks and stuff. So, no, seriously, I mean, that's why I made them firemen, because I thought if I wrote in a scene where we were riding in a fire truck, I'd actually get to ride in a fire truck. And, seriously, and slide down the fire pole, which... with Errol Flynn waiting there to catch me. So yeah, it kind of just came out of that, and I wanted to, have Tony back. So kind of everything about that episode was kind of selfish, and I wanted to not be Teal'c for a bit, and that's kind of how it all came about.
Very cool. Okay, back on the right.
Such a wide array of science fiction, movies, TV shows, etc. What do you guys think makes Stargate special and stand out amongst a vast field?
That would be a Martin question, I think.
Sure. I don't know. I think it's the show has a lot of heart, and it's got a lot of wit. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which I think for the type of show that we were is a rare thing. And you can never tell what's going to land with an audience, but I mean, the show could go on forever. I mean, it's kind of, yes, please, I agree. And I think everybody just got all of the all of 3 versions of the franchise have just been really lucky that we got the right people. I mean, the casts were so spectacular. They really connected with the audiences and connected with the material and did great. I don't know. And also because it's awesome. I don't know. Is that a good? That's probably more succinct.
You were supposed to say it was good writing.
Oh, and also the writing is incredibly strong. Thank you, Ted. It's my first time.
All right, back up here. What? No.
My question is for Mr. Judge.
That's my father. He's more of a drunk than I am.
My dad tried to get me into Stargate when it first came on, the first season, when I was in the 2nd grade, but honestly, I was terrified.
That's why you're Mr. Judge.
How old are you now?
I'm 23.
Oh, Jesus. But, you know, you're supposed to follow that up with, and Chris, you don't look a day older. No, seriously.
You look way less gold, though, and I think
That's actually where this question is going.
Okay.
Because I love sci-fi, but Teal'c terrified me. So,
And many other white ladies around the world. I'm sorry, I will let you finish.
you just seem like a nice guy who's very, has a lot of emotions that Teal'c didn't seem to express. So how hard was it for you to play someone who was always so stoic?
It was really hard in the beginning, especially because I didn't have a great grasp of the character yet. I don't think kind of any of us did. I had to stay in character most of the time because I was afraid if I went out of character that I wouldn't be able to find him very easily again. So the first probably half a season, I was pretty much Teal'c kind of all day, which wasn't a lot of fun at all. But then when I really felt I had a good grasp of him, I was, only between action and cut was I, and then sometimes not even after when they said action. So yeah, it was a process at first.
Thank you. I just wanted to say I'm glad, Joel, you guys can be here. I look forward to this every year. And when I saw your name on the, this is for Christopher, when I saw your name on the list, I was extremely happy. I'm just wondering how much creative control you and the other actors had over character traits, about any ad-libbing that may or may not have been allowed to a script. I understand that you wrote the episode that you did. And also I want to make a comment for Chris. Listening to you at the panels, you guys obviously had a great camaraderie and a good time, and I'm just wondering how you got through making a single episode, let alone your entire run, with the practical joking and the sense of humor. And you guys did an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we were allowed. First of all, let's really tell the truth here. There was Rick, and then there was the rest of us. Did you ever read a book called The Jordan Rules? Kind of Stargate, there were the Rick rules. For Rick, the script was kind of like the expiration date on milk. It's kind of a suggestion, but hey, if you want to drink it afterwards, go ahead. For myself, they gave me a great deal of freedom because, it maybe a little too much, because it became that I was kind of the go-to guy on alien stuff and alien. I remember that Nicotel came about. Jonathan Glasner just wrote a bunch of letters. And so I went up to his office and said, "How do you pronounce this?" And he said, "I don't know, you're the alien." Okay. I was allowed a great deal of freedom. I don't know, maybe you guys want to.
They seemed, the writers, even though I always had to stick to basically what the dialogue was, they were pretty cool about, shaving off a word here or there to kind of make it your own, which was nice. And I had a lot of freedom with props up until about three-fourths of the way through season 6 when I was banned.
Yeah, I was thinking 8 8 hours to shoot your singles.
You know, I think the great thing about our crews are so amazing. They're so efficient and fast, and you know, the great thing about television is, you know, you want to give, you know, it's not a play, obviously, and so you can do a lot of takes, and certainly, I think, you know, the guys upstairs always encouraged everybody to kind of bring themselves to the show. As long as we were covered on one line, you know, then give us another one, and that stuff always ended up in the show. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually got really creative when they were writing my dialogue. Sometimes they would put "indeed!" Exclamation point. Yeah. And then sometimes they put "indeed!" with a question mark.
I put it italicized. I thought that was really good. Like, indeed. Yeah.
Where are we? Oh, you're the mic. There you go. Hello, gentlemen of Stargate. It's lovely to see you. This question is for Martin and anyone else that...
It is?
Yes. And for anyone else that might want to answer.
No, forget it. This is mine, guys.
Well, especially as a writer and producer, science fiction has always held up a mirror to our society, whether it's the fun stuff or the darker images. And we're getting to the point now where a lot of the sci-fi is very gritty. Battlestar, the new Stargate. Do you think that the networks and audiences at large are becoming a little more open to taking the path to understanding that science fiction isn't just, you know, crap? Because it's not.
Is the question, do I think people think science fiction is crap?
Do you think that people are becoming more aware of the fact that...
I think science fiction is definitely finding a wider audience in America, in North America. I mean, the thing is that for some reason there's some sort of stigma associated with science fiction in North America that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, you know? Like, it's taken a little more, I don't know, it's got, which is weird because, you know, the United States has such an amazing science fiction history. But I don't know. I mean, you know, I think as storytellers, it's obviously very attractive to any writer because you can really do anything on the show. You know, I wanted to do an episode about how my brother and I didn't get along, and I decided to do it with clones. You know, and you know, multi-universe things, and so it's really it's just a lot of fun, and I think audiences are starting to open up. I think, you know, the Sci-Fi Channel, so I don't want boobs or anything, but I think they're trying to open up the type of science fiction that people are consuming, and you know, on network television now, I think there's, you know, more and more great science fiction. I don't know what the hell. Guys, maybe you shouldn't ask me questions. I don't think I'm doing a good job answering this. It's not funny or informative.
I'll take this one. I think it's a wrong perception which is held at some of the higher levels of television networks. I think Hollywood in general recognizes the vast popularity of the art form. When I was in London, I did an interview with an artist, and we were having this discussion. This is full on, went to art school, artist, does amazing stuff in the city of London. And we were doing an interview, and he said that he thought that science fiction, when we look back, might be the absolute height of art for this particular time. And if you look at the most popular films that are made, almost all of them are science fiction or genre-related films. I think that the audience is much vaster than is given credit for, and occasionally you'll find someone pointing at Comic-Con or Dragon Con and saying, look at these people. Oddly enough, they go to work with a lot of these people. It just happens to be that instead of painting themselves green and wearing cheese on their heads on the weekend, they may become a Klingon. So I think it's an interesting perception. I think it's wrong.
That's a good answer. Damn it.
Martin, you want to follow that?
No, I don't want to follow that. I think we should just shut this down right now.
This question's for the entire panel.
Oh,
I was
God.
wondering what type of show or movies you guys would recommend to the fans that are here to see you.
I'm recommending books. If you haven't read Neil Stephenson, read him.
Did you say book? I like more kind of highbrow, conceptual stuff, so I'm going to say Big Bang Theory. It gets me thinking.
I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad. I don't know. No, it's not as popular here, is it? Well, you should watch it.
John is incredible on Breaking Bad, too. Have people watched Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Oh, God, more people need. That was actually going to be mine. It was going to be a kiss-ass answer. That's what I was going to say. It's really good. And what else? I don't know. I just got into Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
That show is okay. That show is really. I don't follow football at all. I'm not sporty. It's hard to tell because of my physique. But oh man, go Panthers. Full hearts. Can't lose. That's it.
It's the Lions now, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you haven't gotten to that point?
What? No, I'm in season 3. No. This panel is not going well for me, guys. There's a lot of hurt up here.
Oh, Real Housewives of New Jersey. Hell no, I hate that show. I can't stand it. But sometimes I catch myself watching it because I don't like it. You know what I mean? I'll just sit there and just hate on it and watch it. And be like, God, I hate this. It's like TMZ. I'll catch TMZ and be like, I hate these people. But I gotta sit there and just watch it and just hate on them.
No, you're not.
Oh, they're just such pricks.
I don't think Corn took his medication.
Oh no, I did. I doubled up on it. Actually, on my flight back from Australia, me and Chris were in Australia together. I watched some of the great classics, you know. Watched The Hustler. Yeah, that was awesome. And Bullet. Steve McQueen and Bullet. Great movie. They're like, Hustler, Bullet. Smattering of applause. And any Errol Flynn movie you can get your hands on. Back in blood.
Hi, this is for Chris. I was wondering what writing you have, what are you doing now, what's coming up next, what are you writing, and what can we see from you? And then also for Martin, what is next for Stargate? When are we going to see a new movie?
I don't know. I mean, Stargate Universe premieres this fall, and is season 2. It's a really strong. I've only read the first 5 episodes, but they're really, really good. And as far as the movies and stuff like that, you know, no one is a bigger fan of the Stargate movies than I am. I mean, Continuum is maybe my favorite piece of Stargate, period. But it's a different market out there now. It's really expensive to make these movies right, and it's really hard to make that money back. And you know, just in the time that we did those two films, the marketplace has completely changed. DVD is a bit of a wasteland now. And
MGM has so much money.
I know. Well, the other thing, I'm not allowed to talk about MGM, otherwise the stock price just shudders. But yeah, so I don't know. And as far as what I'm doing right now, I'm working on a show called Bored to Death, which is on HBO. And thank you for the 4 of you that are watching it, and probably also watching Breaking Bad. Thank you for those 4. start airing September 26th. It's a great season.
I'm actually executive producing a series, The Saint. It's a redo of Saint from the 60s. And we have actually Sir Roger playing the Saint's mentor. And James Purefoy is the Saint. And Rage of Angels is finally up and running as stars. My partner is Bill McDonald, who created Rome, and so we're writing the first 10 episodes now. So, and that'll be stars. The Saint is TNT.
Next.
Yep. My question's for Christopher. What's your favorite episode that you filmed, and how did you feel about the episode where Teal'c and O'Neill switch personalities?
Can you say the first part again?
Favorite episode filmed?
Oh, my favorite, without a doubt, the 200th. You know, and it wasn't just that we had fun doing it. It was like everyone, like, you know, it was over halfway through our 10th season, and you know, by that time people are tired and grumpy, but the crew, like some of the departments, like the wardrobe department, the construction department, had to work 24/7 to get that stuff done, because even though it was a huge episode, they still had the same amount of prep time as any other episode. And everyone did it with a smile on their face, and everyone was happy. And people who hadn't ever come to the set in 10 years actually came to the set to see us do some of the scenes. And it was just a really, really happy week. And, you know, Ben was in a good mood the whole week. You know, Rick knew 1/10 of his lines. And I got a codpiece. I mean, was there a second part to that? Was there a second part to the? What was the second part of the question?
How did you feel about the episode where Teal'c and O'Neill switch personalities?
Oh, I had a lot of fun doing it. Rick had never actually been to my trailer before. And we, well, sometimes you come over for some swashbuckling. So the script gets delivered, and as I'm perusing, I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I get to do something different, and Rick is just. So I hear a knock at the door. It's Rick. He all of a sudden, like, he's never talked to me about anything about any script, but he wants to talk about how I'm going to be O'Neill. Because it was still, that was like pretty early on, so, he was still, Rick mellowed out over time. So back then he was still very, protective of his image, the whole MacGyver thing, I don't know, whatever. So he wanted to make sure that we gave an honest portrayal and didn't lampoon each other's characters. How much can you lampoon when one guy says indeed, but then the other guy, O'Neill, has every tick in the book. So I actually scaled that performance back by probably 50% because I had actually studied every little nuance that he had. But I mean, it was actually a lot of fun to do, and I had a great time with Rick doing it. The episode, just the episode.
That's the swashbuckling. That's the swashbuckling?
You're so dirty.
I have a question for the panel. Chris, I love you. Teal'c, I love Teal'c. My question is, what science fiction movies you guys like the most as a panel? Like, which is your favorite science fiction movie? It changes from year to year. The first thing that comes to my mind is Alien.
I think for me, besides all the classic, The Matrix, I absolutely adore it.
My first sci-fi film was, and I'm having a hard time remembering the name, but it's where the